Now, I have lived my whole life in New York, 21 years to be exact. And when people who don't live in New York ask me about how life is here, I tell them that it's super hectic. But ever since I was born, it's always been like that. When people come to New York, they think about Manhattan. They think about the big skyscrapers, Times Square, and the huge penthouses in the city. They also think about Brooklyn and how it's gotten so much better over the last couple of years. And they even got a basketball team. But when people think about New York, they really don't think about the Bronx at all. Now, of course, I've always heard people say to me that the Bronx is just a bunch of ugly buildings and that there's poor people everywhere. Why should you care about the Bronx? There's always been stereotypes about the Boogie Down. It's the worst borough to live in, and some of the things said are true. But there's so much more to the story. Look, I grew up in the Bronx, spent my whole life here. Times were tough as a kid. I didn't get to go on family vacations to Disney World, and I didn't get presents under the Christmas tree. Of course my family struggled, and we didn't have opportunities that others had. But when people say things about the Bronx, I want them to really think before they speak. Yes, times are tough, but I had a loving family, and my parents and 4 sisters all worked their asses off to keep us all stable. Sure, I didn't have luxuries that others had, but without this place, without the Bronx, I wouldn't have turned into the person I am today. I wouldn't have become the hardworking, positive person I am without this place. The Bronx taught me that life is tough, but you have to make the most of any situation. I'm not saying that your aspirations to be to live in the Bronx your whole life or to start a family here, but just know that people from here are tough as nails. We are the backbone of New York, and even though the Bronx is full of poor people, we never let things like that stop us. I hope that next time you see someone from here, you know that there's so much more to us than just a poor person who lives here. There's a lot more to the story that you need to find out. Don't just judge a book by its cover, but actually read it. Like I said, my name is Kristian, and I'm proud to say that I'm from the Bronx.